Huh? Hello, hello, hello. This is the first time that we've ever done a show on a Thursday, is it not?
It is. It is. It
It is.
is.
We're starting to diversify our portfolio of days which we host the appeal. But most importantly, and always, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing wonderful. It is a great and amazing spring, I guess, now, right? So, welcome,
Spring is
spring.
strong. There's thunderstorms outside here in the Chicagoland area. I'm super excited and thankful that you wore your blue. We'll get to that in a little bit. But before we do, of course, it would be a mistake to not highlight our miraculous and wonderful sponsor, of course, my personal tattoo artist, Patrick Cornolo at Speakeasy Custom Tattoo. And if you don't know, Speakeasy Custom Tattoo is located in the Wicker Park neighborhood of Chicago in the historic Flatiron Building. And with over 30 years of experience, they have curated a staff of magnificently talented local and international artists, and they continue to host monthly guests from all around the world. They're an appointment-only custom tattoo shop offering a wide range of styles in a clean and relaxing atmosphere. And no matter the style you're looking for, they will absolutely help make your vision come to life. So be sure to check out their artists on their website at www.speakeasycustomtattoo.com. Be sure to tell them Chris sent you, which reminds me I need to make an appointment with Patrick myself. So Sia, let's get this show kicked off because we got a lot to talk about.
Let's do it.
You know, I was just thinking as that was playing, back to our conversation with Jessica backstage about music and certain rock stars. It will come into no surprise to her now why that music sounds the way it does, given what we were talking about. We love our '90s grunge, don't we?
We do. I mean, look, it is. I think it. There was some angstiness to it, right? And it was. It just felt like it had mattered more for us. I think we cared back then.
Yeah, we did. And speaking about things that matter and things that we care about, I mentioned I was excited and thankful that you're wearing blue. I'm also wearing blue because today is World Autism Awareness Day. And I thought, what better platform than the appeal to just talk briefly about it and about a few organizations we partner with and a few things I'm a part of. Of course, you know Oak Lydon, one of our partners. They've been guests on our show. Their event is coming up April 23rd. I'm so honored again to be the auctioneer. And they just have wonderful services and homes for individuals with autism. And they just make me feel so hopeful for the world when I get to do their event and their choirs singing. And so just a quick shout out to them, RJ and Jim at Oak Lydon, our good friends. The shout out to Oak Lydon. And then, of course, we haven't talked much about, but I got a part-time job. As you may know, I work a few mornings. Another partner of ours, Jerry's Cafe in Arlington Heights, was a guest on our show. I served as MC for their bingo event. And one of the questions I asked them long ago was what was one of their biggest challenges. And of course, staffing came up. And I said, well, hey, I got a few hours to give. And it would actually benefit me selfishly if I could step out of my own condo like I am today and work a little bit and become a barista. So shout out to Jerry's Cafe. If you don't know, Jerry's Cafe is a wonderful establishment with craft beverages and gourmet food. And we have over 30 employees with developmental and intellectual disabilities, many of which whom have autism. And so shout out to my teammates at Jerry's Cafe. And stop on by one morning. I'll make you a good latte. So Sia, do you have anything to say about World Autism Awareness Day?
I am a huge advocate and supporter. I look. I think everyone we know someone that has some on that spectrum somewhere somehow, right? And I actually like to think of it as just celebrating our differences. And so I'm really excited to learn more and see what you guys are doing. And can't wait to see what Dragonfly is doing because maybe we can replicate it down here in Dallas.
Well, yeah, speaking of people on the spectrum and people with different types of hurdles to overcome, as you know, Jessica, the executive director of Dragonfly Chicago, is about to come on. And Dragonfly started in Cincinnati in 2010 with a mission to bring strength, comfort, and joy to families experiencing pediatric cancer. And in 2020, the organization grew here into Chicago, and with her leadership and guidance, they have since served over 1,000 families to date.
Wow.
And we are just so excited and honored to have, again, the executive director of Dragonfly Chicago, Ms. Jessica Merar, to the show. So, Sia, we're going to kick you backstage and welcome Jessica to the show.
Bye, everyone. I guess I'll leave now. Kick me out.
There she is. Jessica, welcome to the show. It is an honor to have you on. I'm so excited to learn more about Dragonfly Foundation Chicago, all it is that you do, who you serve, what you're all about. So if you wouldn't mind, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Dragonfly.
Thank you so much, Chris. It is such an honor to be here. Really appreciate the opportunity to kind of highlight what Dragonfly does and who we are and why we exist and why we need the community's support to do so. The Dragonfly Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit. We support pediatric cancer patients and their families at time of diagnosis, throughout treatment, and beyond. Once a dragonfly, always a dragonfly. I could literally talk about this for hours, and I know we have limited time, so I will start with the fact that our founder, Christine Knightsky, in Cincinnati, her son was diagnosed at the age of 10. And they found so much support while going through treatment. They had their friends, they had their family, they had their community. They looked down the hospital hallway and realized so many families don't have that opportunity. They don't have people to step in when they need the support, and they don't have that community rallying around them. And she vowed that when he was doing well, and thank God he is, that she would start a nonprofit to do just that. And she did. Fast forward 17 years, they're thriving in Cincinnati. And I am a child life specialist by trade, a very proud child life specialist. March was Child Life Month. So kudos to all my colleagues out there in the child life world. Child life is very much the emotional and psychosocial support of hospitalized children. So I was bedside for almost 18 years now. Wow. But in my last 3 years at full-time at Lurie Children's, I was honored to be a part of the hematology oncology team. I worked very closely, not just with child life specialists, but with social workers, bringing resources to our patients and families. One of those resources being Dragonfly, but they were only in Cincinnati at the time. They wanted to support our families at Lurie Children's, and they did so from afar. What was so incredible about Dragonfly is that the intent behind what they were doing was pure. What can we do to help your patients and families? It wasn't about the name or slapping a logo on something or telling everyone that what they were doing to support. It was truly, what do you need and how can we do it? And that resonated. So fast forward, I had my 2 girls. I stayed home for a year, which was the hardest year of my life. And I needed to get back in the workforce. And I remember the moment I reached out to the team in Cincinnati and I said, I have the best idea. Let me open a chapter in Chicago. And fast forward, we did just that.
And here you are, 6 years later now?
We are, yes. So we are
having endured a pandemic to boot and still having served, I think the number is over 1,000 families, right? And it's just breathtaking, frankly. First off, I want to just say thank you for your work, right? Sitting beside children who are experiencing illness can't be easy in itself, right? Being a parent myself and thinking back to your founder, having a 10-year-old child experiencing pediatric cancer, knowing my daughter's 11 and my son's 9, I could never imagine, right? And just knowing that there are resources like Dragonfly out there to help families, should I ever have to experiencing something is so traumatic, but families that are having a resource is just so inspiring. And I can't imagine what it's done to you, but I'm just so humbled and inspired to hear that, you took the bull by the horns and you said, let's do something about it here in Chicago.
Thanks. Yeah, our families are absolutely incredible. They are really inspiring and strong and keep us going. And it's the reason why we're doing all the work that we're doing. You know, looking back at year one, I thought it would be this fun little part-time pet project. And, you know, now we chuckle because it's full-time plus. And we went from supporting one hospital. We now partner with 8 local hospitals. We went from a few families to, like you said, over 1,000 families. What's even more incredible is the community's response. So year one, we got people excited. We told them what we were doing. We fulfilled some, you know, programs at the hospitals, and we rallied together to bring in about 40,000, you know, in gross profit that year, gross revenue. Fast forward, we just closed out at almost 600,000. So the growth in just those 6 years is both amazing and terrifying and exciting. But I think what it proves is that people want to get involved, and they want to get involved in a good cause. We have a whole host of programs, but the main one that we focus on is called our Urgent Requests program. That is referred by our frontline staff. So a social worker, a child life specialist will meet a newly diagnosed patient and family. They assess their needs, and they can reach out to us, no questions asked. We trust their clinical judgment. This family needs grocery card support. This family needs transportation. We are lucky enough to partner with Uber so that we're able to send credits directly to patients and families so that they can get to and from treatment. We have some great foundations that step in and say, we want to help you support medical devices that aren't covered by insurance, birthday celebrations, milestones, anything that we can step in and do that doesn't fall into the purview of other organizations. We want to be there. We don't really do bill pay. We don't really do wish granting, but we step in when frontline staff deems it necessary. And we say, yes, here we are. This is what we want to do. Over the years, as more people have gotten involved, and, you know, whether it's corporate partnerships or family foundations or individual giving, it all makes a huge difference no matter the size. And we're able to grow our programming. We do an amazing holiday program called Adopt a Family, where we were able to support over 88 families this past holiday season, fulfill their wish lists, take the burden of the holidays off of these families' shoulders, and just give them some joy at a time where it's really hard to find. We do some hair loss experience kits for kids about to experience hair loss due to their chemotherapy. We do hospital support, not just for the patients, but for the caregivers as well. We want our staff that is working tirelessly day in and day out to feel supported. We do coffee if they're having a tough week. We actually support the tea cart that is manned by the chaplain team at Lurie. After a really tough week or sadly a bereavement, they will walk around and really just talk to staff and give them tea, hot chocolate, something just to comfort them. We're all about comfort and joy and strength. And if our hospital teams feel supported, then we know that that will then transfer to supporting our patients and families.
Absolutely. And if you haven't already, please be sure, as you see there scrolling at the bottom of your screen, to check out Dragonfly Foundation of Chicago's website at www.chicago.dragonfly.org. There you can learn more about their services, how to uplift their mission by making a donation. And you mentioned something that I wanted to highlight. You talked about community support. And we have a big event coming up on April 18th at Joe's Live in Rosemont. It's the 5th annual Night of Courage. SOAR, it's called, as you can see, 5 years of flight. And I'm so excited to be partnered alongside you, Jessica, as your auctioneer, as we work to raise as much money as possible and the most ever in the 5 years of this event. So if you'd be so kind, talk a little bit about what the evening will entail.
I am so glad you asked. We're getting so excited, and we're so thrilled that you're a part of it this year, Chris. It is shaping up to be absolutely our best one yet. It is our 5th one. And, you know, we are going to soar. We have come this far and we've done really well, but we're really excited to see where we can take off and soar from here. You know, what do the next 5 to 10 years look like with our community support and all the funds raised and all these beautiful families that we're supporting? We're just beginning this journey. And so the event itself is going to be great. We're at Joe's Live in Rosemont, an incredible venue. We have the most amazing vendor partners. We're working with Epic Events for decor. The Joe's team has been incredible. They are part of the Let Us Entertain You umbrella. So we're going to have Sushi Sun and Bub City. We have some really fun activities planned. I don't want to ruin any surprises. We're going to have an incredible silent auction that's going live next Friday. So again, I'm not going to ruin any surprises, but anyone is welcome to bid on those items. They do not need to be in attendance. There are some great prizes there. Most importantly, we have one of our Dragonfly champions joining us at the event. Her name is Raylan. She is just a ray of sunshine. We will have her and her family speak that night and get to meet our guests. And people really get the opportunity to hear from a family about the impact of Dragonfly, not just from me or from our board members, but from someone who has truly been impacted by our services. But it's a great night. We get to do a little bit of a seated program. And otherwise, it's just really fun. We have amazing live entertainment by Rush Street Rhythm. They are part of the Gold Coast All-Stars brand, and they are phenomenal. So we're hoping that, yes, it's going to be fun, but it's also going to be raising awareness on what we do and raise some really great funds so that we can turn around and support our incredible patients and families that we serve.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Planning has been well underway. We've had our meetings several times. We were just commenting backstage how the countdown is on. We're 2 weeks away today.
Yes.
No, not today.
Saturday. Saturday is 2 weeks.
Saturday. Okay, gosh. The Easter weekend is throwing me off because my kids are off school now and whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, 2 weeks from Saturday, the countdown is on. We're super excited. Are there any auction items you want to highlight? Any live things that I'm going to be selling that night that you expect to do well?
Oh my goodness. We were blown away by, I know I keep saying community, but truly people stepping in, be like, what can I donate? Anything from, we have diamonds, jewelry, we have incredible dinner packages, both in the suburbs and in the city. We have some great hotel stays, some vacation packages. There's one in New Buffalo, Michigan. There's one in Minnesota. We also are going to be partnering with a company called AmFund, and there are going to be several international trip opportunities. And I want to go on all of them, and they should let me trial them before we put them out to the crowd, right? Sure. They look amazing, but really there's something for everybody. We range, from anything from kids activities to, like I said, some really good hotel stays and weekend getaways, and it's a fun auction this year.
Amazing. I'm super excited. And what's the goal? Let's talk about it. Where we got to get to be a success on the 18th?
Oh my goodness. That is such a good question. We blew away our goals the past few years, and I always get so hesitant to put a number out there and hope that we get there. But we were able to bring in almost 300,000 last year, and I would love to top that. The great thing is we go into the event almost halfway there every year. So we're hoping that people get excited and want to get involved at any level and bring us to that threshold so that we feel good about, supporting our families for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. Well, we put it out into the world, so it will be true. We're going to break the $300,000 barrier, if not crush it. I'm super excited to help us get there. And if you haven't already, scan that QR code. It'll take you directly to Dragonfly Foundation of Chicago's website. There you can learn more about their organization. And of course, as soon as you get to their homepage, it hits you right over the face, the information. Purchase your ticket, make a donation towards the Night of Courage. I would love to see you there. Jessica, you mentioned $600,000. Is that, talk about where the money will go from the Night of Courage. Talk a little bit about your budget and what some of your funding needs are and what this money will be utilized for, if you don't mind.
Sure. Oh, the famous P&Ls that we love to dig into, right? Looking at the line items and budget. One of our biggest spend is our monthly urgent requests. So like I said, families or frontline staff can reach out when families are in need. We spend about $200 per family each quarter. That, like I said, goes towards grocery cards, gift cards, toys, outings, medical devices, anything that they really need to move through, not just their treatment, but that day, that moment, really get to the next step. So we're spending about 5,000 to 8,000 a quarter just on urgent requests.
Wow.
We also help fund the chemo ducks. They're like a stuffed duck that child life specialists use to teach patients about their treatment. Those are $50 a duck. So we spend about $800 a quarter just on stuffed ducks that the frontline teams can teach kids what they're going through. Gosh, obviously we're, spending on admin, but it's minimal. I was by myself for a few years. We had an amazing intern, Sylvia. We ended up hiring her full-time as our director of programs and patient relations. So there's 2 of us full-time, and we have a part-time director of development. Otherwise, it is all advisory board and volunteer support. So there's little overhead, which donors do like to hear, that, more than 75% of the funding that comes in gets funneled directly to patients and families and programs for them. We also do monthly patient and family outings. We want our families to feel like themselves. We want our kids to feel like kids and do things that bring them joy outside of the hospital walls. We love partnering with local teams. The White Sox have us out every year. Northwestern highlights us as a community group of the game. We partner with the Chicago Bears. So anything we can do to get our kids out and having fun and together so that they can bond and be with others who just completely understand what they're going through is our ultimate goal. We spend about $1,000 a month on our patient and family outings.
Amazing. You're busy and there's a lot going on. And so
Yes.
I want to just say, hearing about those ducks, really makes me want to donate too. So thanks for joining us today in honor of your appearance. So we're going to donate 2 ducks, courtesy of Hail Hail Auction. So we're going to donate $100 to Dragonfly. $50 will come from Hail Hail Auctions. $50 will come from Brilliant Bee Media in support of Sia and all she does for us. But
Thank you.
yeah, we're going to help
That's
out and get 2 ducks. So
that's incredible.
The work
Thank
you do is
so
so
much for that.
important. And I understand how hard it is. And I don't mean to trivialize your work, but you're a catch-all, right? You're a catch-all. You're where those things are slipping through the cracks and you're catching them to make sure they don't hit the ground. Like you said, whether it's an Uber card or a duck or an outing to a Cubs game, right? Everything can't be given by certain organizations. And so knowing that there are places like Dragonfly out there to be that really, really make the world a better place. And so thank you for that, Jessica.
Oh, that's kind. Thank you. I feel really grateful to be in this work. It is such an honor to work with these families, and that the fact that they allow us into their world as they kind of move through this journey, it's truly an honor. I'm grateful every day.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. Before we sign off, we're running short on time, unfortunately. We can keep going and going and going, of course. But before we do sign off, I want to give you an opportunity. Is there anything else we haven't talked about, things you want to highlight? Where can people connect with you? Scan the QR code. Let them have it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone is welcome to reach out. The conversations that I have daily, whether it's with individuals who want to get involved, maybe they have a birthday or a milestone coming up, they want to do something in honor of someone in their life or one of our patients, or just for the cause in general, reach out. I love getting creative with you. We love working with businesses and corporations. We can do employee volunteer opportunities. Really, it's limitless. And as long as we have the time and the creativity, we want to talk to you and we want to, get you involved in some capacity. The other thing I want to leave everybody with is truly any amount makes a difference. There are people who give $1 each month, and we are beyond grateful. That is not to say that we don't appreciate our major gift givers and our corporate donations, but this is something for everybody. We love getting kids involved. We love getting families involved. So feel free to reach out. Our email is chicago@dragonfly.org. Easy enough to remember. So we are here. We are available after the event. I will get back.
After 2 weeks. After
Yes.
2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks and then flood our inbox on April 19th.
Yes.
I hope your inbox is flooded with people who want to donate and volunteer and give and do whatever it is you need. But give her 2 weeks, folks, if you don't mind. And so Jessica, it has been an honor to have you on this show. It has been enlightening and uplifting and inspiring. And we got a few ducks coming your way, so that's exciting in itself. But thank you for your work. Thank you for everything you're doing to make our world a better place. This has been great. And I'm excited to connect again in 2 weeks. We'll be on stage at Joe's Live in Rosemont, the 5th annual Night of Courage. We're going to break that 300,000 barrier mark and crush it, frankly. If you haven't gotten your tickets already, please do so today so we can get a proper head count. Like we said, it's planning a wedding every year. You know the crunch that we're under now. So please help us out. Purchase your tickets, make your donations. And Jessica, thanks again for all you do. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor. See you in a couple weeks.
See you weeks. Of course, this show would not be possible once again without our presenting sponsor, my personal tattoo artist in the Wicker Park neighborhood of Chicago, Patrick Cornolo, his wife Kelly at Speakeasy Custom Tattoo. If you're in the market for a tattoo, check them out. Be sure to tell them Chris sent you. Of course, my production extraordinaire, Miss Sia Yasa Tornrat. Certainly without her, this show would not be possible because I'm just flapping my gums and she's making the magic happen behind the scenes. And of course, Tausi, who will hear their video and we'll get that outro. So please, folks, be sure to tune in next Thursday at 2 o'clock. We're going to have Chicago River Swim on, but it's been an honor to have Jessica and highlighting Dragonfly Foundation of Chicago. Have a great rest of your day. Hail, hail.
Falling asleep with your neck in the wrong position can be a real pain in the neck. Literally. People of all ages are falling for Tossie. Tossie gives you the comfort you've always dreamed of. Go to TossieBrands.com and get your comfort on.